All right, great team win. Very proud of our players. We talked all week about being resilient, and that's what our kids were today. They do everything we ask them to do, and they came in and really performed well today. When people count us out, we came right back for the fight. And I told those guys just now, the only people that matter are those guys in that locker room. And again, we got a lot to play for. We're sitting here 7-2 with a really good football team, and I'm very proud we played, performed, and it's on to Lafayette.
All right, thank you, Coach. We'll start off with Ethan Joyce from the Winston-Salem Journal.
Hey, Sean. I know you guys talked about getting back to basics this week, and I just wonder, what kind of went into the week of getting past a loss, and if maybe that was a game that you guys needed to kind of reset and get into a groove like you did in this game.
I don't think we had to reset. We played a very good Coastal team, and it came down to the wire, and a few plays here, then we're sitting here right in the front. But we came back and we had a great Sunday practice. We gave them Monday off, and it was a great week of practice. Our kids were locked in, and they just know what we can do. And I'm using this word resilient because that's what we are. And again, we have great kids in that locker room. All I do is make good grades and graduate and win championships. And this year might be a little bit different, but I'm very proud of our guys.
It seemed like pretty early in the game, you guys were playing with the tempo of the offense a little bit. Rolling Zach out a little bit more. What kind of went into, I guess, making the offense run the way it did and do so successfully?
Well, the guys on the outside made plays this week, and we've been missing that. And, we get Thomas Hennigan back, Jalen Virgil's back, and that's a big part of our offense. Malik Williams has been doing great all year long, but when you have three weapons on the outside, then they can't load the box. And that's what we were battling with injuries. And those young guys did a great job. They're just not there yet. But when you get back Thomas Hennigan and Jalen Virgil, then the game changes.
As far as just, the rest of the season, Coastal locks up the East Division today. And I wonder, what do you say to the team about that? Just considering you have been a conference championship this last 4 years, and that was one of the goals this year.
Well, our goal is to be champions, and that's never wavered one bit. We have a lot of football to play. We can still be champions. There's a bowl championship out there somewhere. And again, our goal is to be champions and graduate our players, and we'll never waver from that. And we might have stubbed our toe a little bit along the way, but again, we can still be champions. That's what this program's about.
All right, we'll go to David Ware, App State Mania.
Congratulations on the win, Sean. For a game where you just jumped on them early and really never let up, all the way through the first half, was that the kind of game that you really wanted to see these guys come out and just get on somebody's throat early and just ride it all the way through the rest of the game?
Well, that was one of our team goals all week, to start fast. And I thought we started fast last week on offense and to give a big play up on defense. But our goal was to start fast. Defense came out and set the tone, and then the offense came out and scored. And that was a big part of us being successful. I think the first 3 drives we touched the ball, we scored touchdowns, I believe. And the defense came out with a big pick 6 and really set the tempo. But I say that, and that is a good Troy football team. And the numbers don't show it right now, or the score might not show it, but Chip Lindsey is a good friend of mine, and that team's going to be very good, very hard to handle here in the near future.
You talked about having the outside guys back, and certainly that's part of it. But I talked to Malik middle of the week, and he said that, you guys had seen some stuff on film, particularly with the way they use their safeties, that he felt like was going to give you that opportunity to get vertical. Was that something you guys really just schemed into the game plan all week as opposed to dialing it up just today?
No, I mean, we've seen stuff on tape last few weeks. We just couldn't get to it. And when you're hobbling out there at the X receiver with Thomas, and Virgil wasn't playing, and those guys, every play we have is designed to score when we throw it. And those guys came out there, and it really lightened the box up for us. And we were able to do both. We were able to play action, really drop back and run the football.
Talk about the opportunity to use a lot of different running backs today, because you got productivity out of pretty much anybody you put back there.
Yeah, I thought Marcus Williams Jr. came in and gave us a good shot in the arm to be successful. Cam was Cam. And then very, very proud of Nate Noel. Nate Noel came in and he ran his tail off. And there at the very end, Anderson Castle, local guy, came in and had a long run. And those were 4 backs. Our top, last week our top 2 backs were out. Datrix out, and Marcus Williams Jr. don't play, and Cam gave us all he had, and so did Nate Noel. And this week we're a little more healthier with Marcus back, and hopefully getting more reps next week in the game on Friday.
All right, we'll go to David Rogers. You're muted, David.
Yeah, I had to unmute myself. Sorry. I'm dealing with 3 screens here. Coach, congratulations again. The 275 yards net yards rushing and 279 net yards passing. Pretty balanced. Was that pretty much the game plan coming in to be have that balance of an offensive attack?
Yeah. We every week we want to be balanced as much as we can. Something's dictated on the defense we're playing and what style they are. But you said 275 rushing and 279 passing. That's about as balanced you can probably get. So again, I thought Tony Peterson called a great game, and I think he's called great games all year long. Just now he's getting some of his weapons back on the outside.
Last week you pointed this out on Monday about the chunk plays that cost the game really last week. You limited those this week. Was there anything special that you did in terms of limiting the big plays?
Well, take out the fourth quarter. I think we limited those guys in the run game to probably 50 yards possibly rushing. Whenever you make a team one-dimensional, you got a chance to be good on the pass. And our defense did a great job of taking away the run. And when you make them pass, it's in our favor.
What was your messaging to Zach Thomas, given what happened last week, before the game and after the game, after what he was able to do today?
Say that one more time.
What was your messaging to Zach Thomas, given what happened last week with the turnovers? What was your message to him before the game and after the game, after his great performance today?
There's no message to Zach Thomas. He's 30-5 as a starter.
Okay.
People give him a hard time around here for performance, but I'll go to battle with Zach Thomas every single day of the week. He's a winner. And again, we wouldn't be in the spot we're in right now if it wasn't for Zach Thomas. So I thought he came out and played well. And again, he didn't have to force things today because his receivers were getting open. And Zach Thomas is a playmaker and he's a winner. And we should all be proud of Zach Thomas.
Great. Thank you very much.
All right. Coach, I'll ask one and then we'll get you out of here. Just Stephen Jones, you obviously have a pretty talented cornerback group, and maybe he doesn't get all the headlines, but just what have you seen out of his development and the way he's been able to contribute on the back end for you guys?
The way he practices. I mean, he practices like a game every single practice. He's a lot of fun to be around. He's a joy to coach, and he's always got a smile on his face. And just to watch him to be successful, haven't played much here in the last few years, but Coach Rose done a great job with him, helping with his technique and to make him make plays. But very proud of Stephen Jones, the way he represents himself this year, and he'll be you'll hear his name a lot here.
Young guys have stepped up big time. This receiving group, we definitely have battled some injury and losing Corey. That was tough. But I think these young guys have accepted their role. And you saw a flash of it at Arkansas State. And since then, they've just been playing really well. I was really excited for Christian Horn tonight. Step up, made a big play, and got a lot of yards after the carry. Proud of them. Every day they just come to work, ready to improve, not only for themselves, but to receiving group. Just proud of them and the hard work that they put in, and it's starting to pay off for them.
Can you hear me okay right now?
Yeah.
I guess as far as turning the page from last week, what was your approach of getting past that game, that performance, and getting back into this one?
Yeah, man. Last week was tough. I dealt with a lot of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's a position I signed up for. I signed up to be a quarterback here, and not all games are going to be the ones that you want to play. I mean, it definitely wasn't a good game from my standpoint. Made a lot of mistakes. But it was my goal this week to fix those mistakes and get in the film room and be better for myself and for this offense. I think I did a pretty good job of just spending a lot of extra time in the film room, spending extra times with receivers after practice, and we fixed the mistakes that we made last week, and everything started clicking again.
All right, we'll go to David Ware, App State Mania.
Zach, congratulations on the win. Talk a little bit about the blocking today. You know, you went vertical a lot today, and of course, when that happens, you got to have time in the pocket to actually let those routes develop. You know, you got hit a few times last week. They got after you pretty hard. What went on this week that made the blocking so successful and gave you the time you needed?
Yeah, I think our O-line stepped up big time. All the coaches had kind of challenged them this week. I mean, last week wasn't our best game all around the field. I think everyone got challenged this week to do better than what we had put on film. And I think they stepped up big time. They had a heck of a game all week. They were locked in and ready to go. And I think it showed. Put a lot of extra time in any way possible, and they did everything that they got asked to do. Just proud of them and the way they performed.
There's a lot of attention, as there always is, on outside receivers, but you've really kind of come back to utilizing your tight ends as receiving weapons lately. They caught like 65% of the passes they've caught all season in the last 3 games coming into today. Of course, you hit Henry for a touchdown today. Talk about being able to integrate those guys more into the passing game and what that does to help unlock some of the other stuff down the field.
Yeah, so I mean, basically, we got a good group of receivers, and especially when especially like Malik Williams, he's going to take a couple of people down the middle, and that's going to leave people open underneath, and that's the tight end's job. And we practice it every day, and I know sometimes when you look at tight ends, they're just for blocking, but at the same time, we practice routes every day, and they do what they're supposed to do, and they get open. I can't say enough for those guys. They put a lot of work in this year. Just proud of that group of guys. And I was excited for Henry tonight. Just excited for them, and they put a lot of work in, and it's just paying off now.
All right, we've got one more, Silas Albright from the Appalachian.
So obviously the offense got off to a pretty quick start today with a big run by Cam on the first possession. And then you went 4 for 4 with over 60 yards and a quick touchdown on the second possession. What can you say about the start of the game and if that hot start kind of helped y'all settle in?
Yeah, man. I mean, we've been practicing all week. We put that game last week to rest, and it was our goal to improve on all phases of the ball. And we did just that. I mean, we came out hot on offense, receivers making plays, running backs making plays, O-line blocking. Can't ask for much more. We got off to the start. I think in the first 5 possessions, we scored with 2 field goals. So just proud of our guys. They played lights out, and it was good to get back on the winning side.